What if I told you that many younger women willingly choose men old enough to be their fathers, not because they have no options, but because older men offer something younger men often can't? The truth may challenge everything you've been told about attraction. Stay until the end, because the final reason explains why age gap relationships continue to grow despite criticism, and why so many people completely misunderstand them. Writing Variant T Standard ID 61482. Women are attracted to security, not just looks. One of the biggest misconceptions people have about attraction is believing that women make their relationship choices primarily based on physical appearance. While attraction certainly matters, it is rarely the only factor that determines whether a woman sees long-term potential in a man. Physical beauty can capture attention, but attention and commitment are not the same thing. Many younger women are capable of attracting men their own age who may be physically attractive, energetic, and socially active, yet they still find themselves drawn toward older men. This often confuses outsiders because they focus only on what can be seen on the surface. What they fail to understand is that attraction is deeply connected to how a person makes someone feel. A younger woman may admire a handsome man, but she may feel a stronger emotional pull towards someone who provides a sense of certainty, stability, and security in a world that often feels unpredictable. Security is not simply about financial resources. Although financial stability can be one part of the equation, security is primarily about consistency. It is about knowing where you stand with someone. It is about not having to spend every day questioning their intentions, guessing their feelings, or wondering whether they will suddenly change their mind. Many younger women are exhausted by uncertainty in modern dating. They encounter people who send mixed signals, avoid commitment, disappear without explanation, and create emotional confusion. Over time, these experiences can make stability feel far more attractive than excitement. An older man who communicates clearly, follows through on his promises, and behaves consistently creates an environment where a woman can relax emotionally rather than remain in a constant state of doubt. There is also a psychological comfort that comes from being with someone who appears grounded and self-assured. Older men have often experienced enough of life to understand the importance of responsibility. They have faced challenges, dealt with setbacks, learned from mistakes, and developed a stronger sense of direction. Because of this, they are often less impulsive and less driven by the need to impress others. Their decisions tend to be more deliberate, and their behavior tends to be more predictable. For many younger women, this creates a powerful sense of trust. They feel that they are dealing with someone who knows who he is and where he is going. That certainty can be incredibly attractive because it provides emotional safety in a world filled with instability and constant change. Another reason security matters so much is that it allows emotional connection to grow. When a woman feels uncertain about a man's intentions, much of her energy is spent trying to interpret his behavior. She becomes focused on reading signals, analyzing messages, and predicting outcomes. This creates stress rather than connection. In contrast, when she feels secure, her attention shifts away from fear and toward genuine bonding. She becomes more open, more authentic, and more willing to invest emotionally in the relationship. Security creates the foundation upon which trust, intimacy, and respect can develop. Without that foundation, even the strongest initial attraction can eventually weaken under the pressure of uncertainty and inconsistency. Many people underestimate how attractive reliability can be because reliability does not create dramatic stories. It is quiet. It does not demand attention. It shows itself through actions actions repeated consistently over time. Yet for many younger women, the ability to depend on someone is far more valuable than temporary excitement. Knowing that a person will keep their word, remain emotionally present during difficult moments, and provide stability when life becomes challenging creates a level of comfort that physical appearance alone cannot provide. This is why security continues to be one of the most powerful and underestimated forces behind attraction. One of the most powerful qualities that can draw a younger woman toward an older man is emotional maturity. While physical attraction may create initial interest, emotional maturity is often what transforms interest into genuine admiration and long-term attraction. Many people underestimate the impact that emotional stability has on relationships because it is not as immediately visible as physical appearance, social status, or charm. Yet when it comes to building a meaningful connection, emotional maturity often becomes one of the most valuable traits a person can possess. Younger women who have experienced emotionally confusing relationships frequently begin to realize that attraction is not just about how someone looks or how exciting they seem. It is also about how safe, understood, and respected they feel in that person's presence. Modern dating can often feel exhausting because emotional inconsistency has become so common. Many people struggle to communicate honestly, express their feelings clearly, or handle conflict in a healthy way. A woman may meet someone who appears interested one week and distant the next. She may encounter men who avoid difficult conversations, react emotionally to small disagreements, or constantly seek validation from others. These experiences create uncertainty and frustration because they force a relationship to operate in an environment of emotional instability. Over time, many women begin to recognize that emotional maturity is not a luxury in a relationship. It is a necessity. Without it, even strong attraction can become overshadowed by stress, confusion, and disappointment. Older men often possess a level of emotional maturity that comes from years of life experience. They have usually faced heartbreak, disappointment, rejection, failure, and personal challenges. Through these experiences, many develop a deeper understanding of themselves and others. They learn that every disagreement does not need to become a battle. They learn that reacting impulsively often creates more problems than it solves. They learn the importance of listening before speaking and understanding before judging. These lessons are rarely learned overnight. They are often the result of years of growth, reflection, and experience. For a younger woman, interacting with someone who demonstrates this level of emotional awareness can feel refreshing because it is so different from the emotional chaos that often exists in many dating experiences. Emotional maturity also reveals itself in the way a man handles difficult situations. Every relationship will eventually face challenges. There will be misunderstandings, disagreements, stressful circumstances, and moments of vulnerability. An emotionally immature person may respond by becoming defensive, blaming others, shutting down emotionally, or creating unnecessary conflict. An emotionally mature person approaches those same situations differently. Instead of reacting impulsively, he seeks solutions. Instead of escalating tension, he works to reduce it. Instead of avoiding uncomfortable conversations, he addresses them with honesty and respect. This ability to remain calm under pressure creates a sense of security that many women find deeply attractive because it demonstrates strength that goes far beyond physical appearance. Another reason emotional maturity creates stronger attraction is that it allows for deeper communication. A mature man is often more comfortable expressing his thoughts, emotions, and intentions without fear of appearing weak. He understands that vulnerability is not a threat to masculinity, but an essential part of authentic connection. This creates an environment where a woman feels heard, valued, and understood. She does not have to constantly guess what he is thinking or wonder where she stands in the relationship. Clear communication reduces confusion and builds trust, allowing both people to connect on a more meaningful level. When a younger woman encounters someone who can manage his emotions, communicate effectively, remain calm during conflict, and demonstrate genuine self-awareness, she is often responding to something much deeper than age itself. She is responding to the emotional maturity that age and experience have helped develop, a quality that can make a relationship feel more stable, more fulfilling, and far more meaningful than one built solely on excitement or physical attraction. One of the most attractive qualities many younger women find in older men is their sense of clarity. Clarity is a rare quality in modern dating because so many people are still trying to figure out who they are, what they want, and where they are going. This uncertainty often affects relationships in significant ways. When a person lacks direction in their own life, they usually bring that same uncertainty into their romantic relationships. A younger woman may spend months trying to understand someone's intentions, only to discover that he is unsure about commitment, unsure about his future, or unsure about what he wants from the relationship itself. Over time, this kind of uncertainty becomes emotionally draining. It creates confusion, insecurity, and frustration. In contrast, older men are often perceived as more attractive because they tend to have a stronger sense of purpose and a clearer understanding of what they want from life and from a relationship. Life experience plays a major role in developing this clarity. By the time many men reach a later stage in life, they have already experienced enough successes, failures, relationships, and personal challenges to gain a deeper understanding of themselves. They have learned what makes them happy, what their priorities are, and what kind of partner they want beside them. This self-awareness allows them to approach relationships with a level of confidence and direction that many younger men are still developing. Rather than entering a relationship simply to see where things go, they often have a much clearer vision of what they are looking for. For many younger women, this certainty is incredibly attractive because it removes much of the confusion that often accompanies modern dating. When a man knows what he wants, his actions tend to align with his words. He does not need to send mixed signals because he is not confused about his intentions. He is more likely to communicate honestly, express his expectations clearly, and make decisions with confidence. This creates a sense of emotional stability that many women appreciate. Instead of spending energy trying to decode his behavior, a woman can focus on building a genuine connection. She knows where she stands, and that certainty creates trust. In many relationships, uncertainty is one of the biggest sources of stress. Clarity removes that stress and replaces it with confidence in the relationship's direction. Another reason this quality is so attractive is that clarity often reflects maturity and self-discipline. A man who knows what he wants is usually less influenced by social pressure, trends, or the opinions of others. He is not constantly changing his priorities to impress people or fit into a particular image. Instead, he makes decisions based on his values and long-term goals. This sense of purpose can be incredibly reassuring to a younger woman because it signals reliability. It suggests that he is not likely to make impulsive decisions that could jeopardize the relationship. His confidence comes not from arrogance, but from knowing himself and understanding the life he wants to create. Clarity also influences how a man approaches commitment. Many younger women are not necessarily looking for perfection. They are looking for sincerity. They want to know that the person they are investing their time and emotions in is genuinely committed to the relationship. Older men who know what they want are often more willing to have direct conversations about expectations, boundaries, and future plans. They understand the value of honesty because they recognize that time is valuable. Rather than avoiding important discussions, they address them openly, creating an atmosphere of transparency and mutual understanding. This sense of direction often extends beyond relationships into every aspect of life. A man who has a clear vision for his future tends to approach challenges with greater focus and determination. He is less likely to drift aimlessly from one goal to another because he has already established his priorities. For many younger women, being with someone who possesses that level of certainty can feel incredibly reassuring, especially in a world where so many people seem uncertain about their path, their values, and their intentions. And one of the greatest misconceptions about attraction is the belief that youth automatically creates desirability. Society often places enormous emphasis on physical appearance, energy, and youthful looks, leading many people to assume that younger men naturally have an advantage in the dating world. While youth may attract attention, attention alone does not create lasting attraction. Lasting attraction is often built on qualities that go much deeper than physical appearance, and one of the most powerful of those qualities is confidence. Many younger women find themselves drawn toward older men, not because of their age itself, but because age has often helped them develop a level of confidence that is difficult to replicate through appearance alone. Confidence changes the way a person carries themselves, communicates, handles challenges, and interacts with others. It creates a presence that can be far more attractive than physical youth. True confidence is very different from arrogance. Arrogance is often loud, attention-seeking, and dependent on external validation. Confidence, on the other hand, is quiet and self-sustaining. It comes from experience, self-awareness, and a deep understanding of one's own value. Older men have often had years to develop this quality through both success and failure. They have faced rejection, overcome setbacks, learned difficult lessons, and discovered that their worth is not determined by the opinions of others. As a result, they often carry themselves with a sense of calm certainty that many younger women find appealing. They do not constantly seek approval because they have already built a strong foundation of self-respect. Many younger men struggle with confidence because they are still in the process of establishing their identity. They may feel pressure to prove themselves socially, professionally, or romantically. This pressure can sometimes lead to insecurity, overcompensation, or inconsistent behavior. An older man who has already navigated many of life's challenges often approaches relationships differently. He is less concerned with impressing people and more focused on being authentic. This authenticity creates a sense of comfort because it allows others to see who he truly is without the need for constant performance or validation. For a younger woman, interacting with someone who is comfortable in his own skin can feel refreshing in a world where so many people are trying to project an image rather than reveal their true selves. Confidence also influences communication in powerful ways. A confident man does not avoid difficult conversations out of fear. He is able to express his thoughts clearly, set healthy boundaries, and communicate his intentions honestly. He is not constantly worried about saying the perfect thing because his self-worth is not dependent on receiving a specific reaction. This creates an atmosphere of trust and emotional stability. A younger woman woman does not have to guess what he means or wonder whether he is hiding his true feelings. His confidence allows him to communicate directly and respectfully, which often strengthens emotional connection. Another reason confidence is so attractive is that it creates a sense of emotional security. People naturally feel more comfortable around individuals who appear grounded and self-assured. A confident man is less likely to react impulsively to challenges, criticism, or disagreements. Instead of allowing emotions to control his actions, he approaches situations with composure and perspective. This emotional steadiness can be incredibly appealing because it signals strength without aggression and leadership without control. It shows that he is capable of handling pressure without creating unnecessary drama or conflict. Confidence also affects the way a man approaches life itself. He is more willing to take responsibility for his choices, pursue meaningful goals, and remain focused despite obstacles. His confidence is reflected in his actions rather than his words. He does not need to constantly announce his value because his behavior demonstrates it naturally. For many younger women, this quiet strength is far more attractive than youthful energy alone. While physical appearance may capture attention for a moment, confidence has the power to create admiration, trust, and attraction that continues to grow through every interaction. One of the most overlooked reasons younger women are often attracted to older men is the value of life experience. Experience is something that cannot be purchased, borrowed, or developed overnight. It is earned through years of living, learning, succeeding, failing, recovering, and growing. While youth is often associated with energy and enthusiasm, life experience brings a different set of qualities that can have a powerful impact on relationships. Many younger women discover that being with someone who has already navigated various stages of life can create a sense of comfort and stability that is difficult to find elsewhere. The attraction is not necessarily to age itself, but to the wisdom, perspective, and emotional balance that often come with experience. Life has a way of teaching lessons that no book, podcast, or social media post can fully provide. People learn through challenges. They learn through mistakes, disappointments, heartbreaks, and moments of uncertainty. Older men have often accumulated years of these experiences, which allows them to approach situations with greater perspective. They understand that not every disagreement is a crisis and that not every problem requires an emotional reaction. This ability to see situations through a broader lens can make relationships feel calmer and more manageable. A younger woman may find comfort in being with someone who has already learned many of the lessons she is still discovering herself, not because he has all the answers, but because he approaches life with greater understanding and patience. One of the ways experience improves relationships is through emotional control. People who have faced various life challenges often become better at managing their emotions. They understand that reacting impulsively can create unnecessary damage and that patience often leads to better outcomes. In relationships, emotional control can make a significant difference. Every couple experiences misunderstandings, frustrations, and stressful moments. An experienced man is often more capable of handling these situations calmly rather than allowing them to escalate into major conflicts. This creates a more peaceful environment where problems can be discussed and resolved rather than magnified through emotional reactions. Experience also teaches people the value of communication. Many older men have already learned that avoiding conversations rarely solves problems. They understand that honesty, transparency, and active listening are essential components of a healthy relationship. Through previous experiences, they may have discovered the consequences of poor communication and the benefits of addressing issues directly. As a result, they are often more willing to engage in meaningful conversations rather than avoiding difficult topics. This willingness to communicate can strengthen trust and reduce misunderstandings, allowing the relationship to develop on a more solid foundation. Another important benefit of life experience is perspective. Younger individuals are often navigating major life decisions, career goals, financial challenges, and personal growth simultaneously. These pressures can create uncertainty and stress. Older men who have already experienced many of these stages often possess a greater sense of perspective. They understand that setbacks are temporary, that success takes time, and that most challenges can be overcome with patience and persistence. This outlook can have a calming influence on a relationship because it reduces unnecessary panic and encourages a more balanced approach to life's difficulties. Life experience also contributes to greater self-awareness. Many older men have spent years learning about their strengths, weaknesses, values, and priorities. This self-knowledge allows them to enter relationships with a clearer understanding of who they are and what they want. They are often less likely to engage in games, seek constant validation, or make decisions based purely on emotion. Instead, they approach relationships with a level of intentionality that many younger women find reassuring. Their experience helps them recognize what truly matters and what is not worth sacrificing a meaningful connection over. For many younger women, the attraction to an older man is not rooted in his age, but in the qualities that years of experience have helped develop. The patience to listen, the wisdom to remain calm, the ability to communicate effectively, the perspective to handle challenges, and the self-awareness to build a relationship with purpose can create a sense of ease and stability that makes the relationship feel stronger, healthier, and more rewarding. Writing, variant standard, IDE 74826, the real reason age becomes irrelevant in attraction. When people discuss relationships with a significant age gap, they often focus almost entirely on the number of years separating two individuals. Society has a tendency to treat age as the most important factor in determining whether a relationship can succeed. Questions, criticism, and assumptions usually appear long before anyone takes the time to understand the actual connection between the two people involved. Yet when we look closely at what creates lasting attraction and meaningful relationships, age alone rarely tells the full story. The real reason some younger women choose older men is not because they are attracted to a number. It is because attraction operates on a much deeper level than age. In many cases, age becomes less important when two people find qualities in each other that satisfy emotional, intellectual, and relational needs in a way that creates genuine compatibility. One of the biggest misunderstandings about attraction is the belief that people choose partners based solely on external characteristics. Physical appearance, age, and social status may influence first impressions, but long-term attraction is usually built on factors that cannot be measured as easily. Trust, emotional safety, respect, understanding, communication, and shared values often have a much greater impact on relationship satisfaction than the number of years between two people. A younger woman may meet men her own age who are physically attractive and socially desirable, yet still feel disconnected from them emotionally. At the same time, she may meet an older man whose personality, perspective, and emotional maturity create a connection that feels far more meaningful. In those moments, age begins to fade into the background because the relationship is being evaluated through the lens of compatibility rather than chronology. Human beings are naturally drawn toward people who make them feel understood. Emotional connection often develops when two individuals share similar values, goals, beliefs, and ways of viewing the world. These factors can create a sense of closeness that transcends age differences. A younger woman may find that she relates more deeply to an older man because they share the same outlook on life, the same priorities, or the same vision for the future. Their conversations may feel more engaging, their perspectives may complement each other, and their emotional connection may grow naturally over time. When this type of compatibility exists, the age gap often becomes less significant because the relationship is built on qualities that matter more in daily life than a birth date. Another reason age can become less important is that attraction is strongly influenced by emotional fulfillment. People stay in relationships because they feel valued, respected, supported, and appreciated. These experiences create emotional bonds that are far stronger than superficial characteristics. If an older man consistently provides emotional support, demonstrates respect, communicates effectively, and contributes positively to a woman's life, she is likely to place greater importance on those qualities than on the fact that he is older. Emotional fulfillment has the power to shift focus away from age and toward the overall quality of the relationship. Many successful relationships thrive because both individuals contribute something meaningful to each other's lives. They encourage growth, provide companionship, and create a sense of partnership. In these situations, the relationship is not defined by age, but by the value each person brings to the connection. Mutual respect becomes more important than public opinion. Shared goals become more important than social expectations. Genuine understanding becomes more important than assumptions made by outsiders. The relationship succeeds not because age is irrelevant in every circumstance, but because the qualities that sustain the relationship carry greater weight than the age difference itself. At its core, attraction is rarely about numbers. It is about how two people make each other feel, how well they understand each other, and whether they can build a life together based on trust, respect, compatibility, and emotional connection, qualities that often become so powerful that age no longer remains the defining feature of the relationship in either person's mind.